Why is
You
that?
should be, because we are live, Neil
Yes,
says.
we are live.
We are live, says Neil.
No more inappropriate jokes.
No more anything. We have a major announcement that we are going to be making, but you have found Through a Therapist's Eyes on YouTube Live on Thursdays before we fire up the show for Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. We come here and hang out for a couple minutes before we turn those live mics on. So we'll go live here in a couple minutes. This is a great way to interact with us for the show. We see your comments and stuff, and we can pull them in as we're talking about. This is the July month in review, and what a weird month, Neil.
It's been lots of stuff going on here.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Summer schedules and sicknesses and vacations and stand-ins and all this kind of stuff. Did I mention we have a major announcement to make?
You did.
We're going to do that shortly. How are you, sir?
Good.
Uh-huh. Did you have a good month?
I did.
Are you going to, enjoy 70 degrees in a couple of days?
Yes. If it doesn't rain.
I don't care if it rains, man. I'm going to just
I still got to work on my step in the backyard.
That's not going to happen this weekend. Sorry. That's
Man.
not happening. We are going to get rain and rain and rain, but the blessing is the air temperature goes down. We've been in a major heat wave here in Charlotte, North Carolina area.
Yeah, we're going from 99 to 77 or 78, something like that on Saturday.
The winds are going to blow Friday night, boy. I tell you. Yeah, it's something. So that is the intro, I guess. We ready to get live?
We are ready.
All right, let's do it. Hello, this is Through a Therapist's Eyes. I am your host, Chris Gazdick. Neil comes out of the curtain behind the scenes and joins us for the month in review. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Did I mention at all on the YouTube Lives that we have a major announcement to make?
I think you said something about it.
Okay, we have a major announcement coming up in a moment, but we have Mr. Adam Cloninger hanging out with us again. How are you, sir?
Good. Hope you are.
All right, listen, I'm excited because we have a new YouTube member, Jessica. Welcome to the Through a Therapist's Eyes episodes. We hope that you find the content that we give you, providing some information about mental health and substance abuse, blowing up stereotypes and myths. That's what our jam is. So, Jessica, welcome, new YouTube subscriber. I miss when we do that. Victoria's little clicks. She does cool clicks.
Or snaps.
She just snaps.
She does like a double.
Is that what it is? Yeah. So, let me see. What else should I say?
Like Adam's Family?
Yes, indeed. Not your family, though. All right, this is Through a Therapist's Eyes, where you get panel of insights from a panel of therapists about mental health and substance abuse, knowing it's not delivery of therapy services in any way. We are sitting here on a day before August the 1st, 2025, which means this is what date? Think fast.
July 31st.
You did that in synchronization. That was well done and planned, right? Clearly choreographed.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
We talked about it before.
On the way here.
Yeah.
Nice. Subscribe, click. Somebody was teaching me something this week that Spotify, you cannot click 5 stars.
No, you just follow. You just want followers on Spotify.
What a bummer.
And they can leave reviews too, but yeah, they don't have the 5-star ratings. It just has the amount of followers.
John's going to be very upset about this.
No, just keep it on app. Have Apple people 5 stars, Spotify people follow.
And give us comments and reviews.
Yes, of course, and share. You can still share, I believe.
And you need to share it.
Hopefully good reviews.
But yeah, well, we know that's
Only
going
good
to be
reviews.
the case, of course. And sharing is an important thing. Look, if you like our content, that's your job. Please do your job. Contact at throughatherapist's.com is how you contact us with emails, questions, follow-ups, corrections, which we will have a really funny correction, by the way, on the next show. I can't wait for that. Did you notice that, Neil?
I saw it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, I noticed it when he said it, but I didn't want to say anything mid-show.
Oh, really? You noticed it live? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have jumped in, man. You
That's
should have
all
jumped in. Ricky. So you'll have to tune into the next episode to find John getting his correction. Look, this is the human emotional experience which we do endeavor to figure out together. So did I mention there's a big announcement?
Is there?
There's a big
I'm not
announcement.
sure if he said that or not.
Did you?
Mr. Adam Cloninger has been with us for 2+ years doing the month in reviews, and before that, I think that you were when we were paneling out with a non-clinical person taking turns, right? And that was where you started, and then you...
I think 202 was the first episode.
Oh, my gosh, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it's 202.
You did all of the 200s and half of the 300s. Oh, well, we'll give you half.
Man.
We'll give you
1/5.
We'll give you kind of a half, a quarter.
No,
So,
not quite 1/5.
so this is your very last show.
It is.
Oh, Neil's not upset. What are you happy?
Just someone else sitting next to me. We'll figure it out. Whoever's next. I can't dwell on it because don't want to cry on camera.
I mean, I really appreciate what you've done. I really do. Guys, you don't understand. The time that it takes, the energy, the effort. You listening might not grasp that. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of time, and I'm very appreciative. We don't even make monies galore and whatnot. So. I really appreciate what it is that you've done, Adam. And I want to tell the audience that, honestly, for the next month, Neil, you didn't even know that I was doing this. So whatever you pledge or help us support the show like normally happens, I would like to 100% dedicate to you, Adam, with whatever comes in with the buy me a cup of coffee and any donations that if you help out with the show before, we really appreciate that. It's all going to you for whatever we get. So that's a little bit of a surprise I kind of wanted to do.
Okay.
I know, right? Well, hey, $5 is $5, man.
That'll buy him a couple beers. That's good.
I mean, And in honor of your last time, I got you something.
Okay.
It is not wrapped because
Because you're a guy.
Yeah, right.
It says fragile on
And I
it.
Fragile as he throws it
As I
across the room.
tossed it across the room.
Can I open it now?
Yeah, please do. Please do. So he is
It's
getting a
ironic the guy who
vile
looks like
vanilla
Santa
envelope.
gets the gift versus being the gift giver.
He is ripping the vanilla envelope open for the audio versions. Paper is crinkling and the excitement is real.
Ah! Got some coasters.
All right, we got coaster cups.
And what's the? I can always use coffee cups. Two coffee cups. See, I should have had this during the show.
I mean, right?
I could have been talking like this the whole time.
Right?
I
Now
mean,
you got-
Chris did try to order them like a year ago, and something happened with the order. So he tried. So
I always try.
So now, like in 9 months or so, when I have to do another show for you or whatever, and we do it remotely, I can be drinking coffee.
Yes, please.
exactly.
And it better be coffee because we stay
yes.
sober on the show.
It will be. There's no telling what I might have in it though.
Well, that's the point. It's just pure coffee.
Thank you.
We have ethics in therapy, man. Although we do not have ethics in podcasting.
I'm not a therapist.
You
so-
are not a therapist.
Yeah, so-
No, you're very welcome, and thank you seriously for all you've done. It's been a wonderful working with you here. You're a friend of mine. I appreciate your friendship and more. So than that, I anticipate that continues as this ends.
Yes.
So
And now, Adam, Chris, if you really cared, you'd go get a tattoo with him.
it's not going to happen.
I tell you what,
It's not going to happen.
we can go get
This is
through a
stupid.
therapist eye tattoos.
This is stupid.
Come on.
You can
chat,
pick which
everything.
color you want.
Let's get Chris to get tattooed by the end of the year.
So episode 321, the July month
He's
in
like,
review.
he's like, next topic.
All right, on the month in reviews, we have enjoyed going down the rabbit hole. I had the rabbit hole wholly and prepared today, and thankfully, we're going to do like a couple of rabbit holes because episode whatever it was, the numbers are all screwed up, Neil,
319.
was a rabbit hole. The whole thing was one big fat rabbit hole that I've been in for a little while. More on that in a little bit. Down the rabbit hole with Adam for the last time is a topic that has something hopefully to do with mental health and or substance abuse that we just sort of rap about because he found it and it's in the news and we love it. So where are we going, man?
Well, first thing, my new podcast, Through the Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm just joking.
Oh, there we go.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Wow.
Do you need a
That was
producer?
not the big news.
So this is one that I thought I had talked about. So I looked at the last 3-4 months episodes on review, and I didn't see it. So I'm thinking maybe either I mentioned it in passing, or for some reason my mind's thinking that I mentioned it to y'all and I didn't completely. So as I start telling you the story, if I've already said it, you can redirect me because I got something else that goes along with it that I haven't talked about yet.
We were probably at a facility, you and I, Adam.
No, I was thinking when we were here, or maybe it was one I was going to talk about. Anyway, so a couple went to Kangaroo Island off the coast of Australia. Does it sound familiar at all?
Starting off with kangaroos, Neil.
Just
No, it's Kangaroo Island.
Oh,
Kangaroo
sorry.
Island, yeah,
Sorry.
nothing to do with kangaroos. So they went camping on Kangaroo Island. This is let's see.
Did they have costumes on?
They may have. I don't know.
Okay. Sorry. Shut up, Chris.
So with brown, little costumes, they were doing breakdancing.
I'm trying to control myself.
I'm joking.
Adam, I'm trying to control myself over here.
So they're on Kangaroo Island, and this has happened about not quite 2 years ago, about a year and a half ago, I guess. So they were there for a week. I said 7 days they were there, and they brought their little Dachshund, Valerie, with them. Okay, so they had a little makeshift pen for Valerie, and, they're doing stuff. Anyway, Valerie got out.
Of course, she wants to go run with the kangaroos.
Yep, that's probably what happened. So they looked for her for a couple of days. They had people helping everything, and they finally had to go home.
Aw.
Now, that was a bad thing. It's kind of sad and everything, but that's what I thought I had told y'all about before, which I didn't because y'all were looking at me like you've...
No, this is all new.
Nope.
So, as time went on, they kept on getting reports of people having a sighting of this little Dachshund
On the island.
on the island. This is like a year and a half ago.
Oh.
So on the island by itself, and people would say, "Yeah, we saw the Dachshund, tried to feed it, it'd run off, tried to get it coming, it'd run away, could never give it anything." So and then somebody finally took a picture of it, or maybe it might have been a video. But the woman saw it, the owner, and was like, "Yeah, that's Valerie, definitely Valerie."
Oh, my gosh. A year and a half later.
Yeah, so 529 days later,
Wow.
they had put out and I don't know how they set this up, but they actually put out a little, like a kennel with a remote control door and a camera, a web camera. Valerie went in there, they hit the button, the door closed, they went and picked Valerie up, and Valerie's back home now.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy.
I thought that was interesting. So, even though things look like it's going to be impossible can still happen.
I love that. That's. I mean, where is Kangaroo Island again? You said
Off the coast of Australia.
so. It's an Australian couple.
Yeah.
Gets to reunite after a year and a half with their with their loved one.
529 days.
Yeah, that is awesome, and thank you. That's an awesome one to end with, I should say, because what you're saying is hope.
Yes.
What you're saying is, when things look bad, you want to have internal resiliency, and continue to stay grounded, positive, not trying to predict the future with negative insecurities and fears, even when things look, bleak.
And not only hope, also change. Because one thing they did say about Valerie was when she came back to the house, she acted almost completely normal. She started playing for her toys like she normally did. She did, same, sitting up, begging for food, all that things that the dog normally
Valerie
did.
is Valerie.
But Valerie is a little more independent now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they figure, she spent 529 days by herself.
I mean, yeah.
Whatever she was eating, I don't know. But they figure she was getting water from a stream that was there.
She's just living.
Eating, yeah, she was living
Her best life.
Yep,
evidently.
529 days, and she's back home.
Yeah, that is awesome. There's independence. There's messages of rebound. There's, dealing with loss. There's a lot in a story like that. I love the stories that are based on survival stories and true stories that, that people have survived Holocaust and have survived for, years on the ocean, and just crazy survival stories like that just warm your heart, because it gives you primarily hope and persistence. I mean, there's just a lot of messages with it, so pretty cool. What you thinking over there, Neil?
I don't even know. I was reading the notes from the Stoicism because I'm trying to get ready for it.
Yeah, I know. I'm worried about that too. Like big time worried here.
No, I think it is good, and I think what's interesting about it is like the pieces. Finding people saying, "Oh, we found the dog." Like there's like continued rebirth of the hope, right? Which is like that's how you can go for a year and a half when you think, instead of just completely giving up because you never see the dog. They constantly had that reminder, like.
And complete strangers helping them.
Yeah, which is cool to see from a community standpoint, right? That idea about trying to help that other people get to that. So, no, I think it's a great story, and it's definitely one of the few positive ones you've had for your rabbit holes, because you like to go a little strange on some of those. So, yeah, great way to end it.
What do you remember from the rabbit holes? I'm totally going down the
I
rabbit
can-
hole
I
of the
can-
night fighting. That to me was, I
Night
think,
fighting.
that was the best one
Human flesh.
in my memory brain. Human flesh,
Eat-
yes.
Eating human flesh. There
Eating
was
human flesh.
The woman who died on the plane, and that person had to sit beside them.
We had the
for
anger
12
rooms of
hours.
breaking things.
There was
Yep.
there was the
rage
go-
rooms.
Yeah, the rage room. Then you had
Rage
the
rooms.
the one where the couple went there and the guy killed all the pets in the pet store.
Yes.
That was a
Oh my
positive one. That was
The
a good
pet
one.
Store.
Yep.
Right, I remember that
That's
one.
the one you said I sound like Mr. Ballin the way I was talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you come up with these things? I think we need to ask. You're going to leave it a mystery?
Dude, you talk to me all the time.
It's
I do.
This is for them. This is not for me.
Just something that I think might be, this just in my head that I'm thinking about.
Like, do you do this all the time in your natural time? This is why the
Yes.
rabbit holes are absolutely the rabbit holes for
Yes.
Adam. It's why it fits, right?
Yeah, and I and I'm so bad about doing it. Like I tried for the first year or probably of trying to think of like, okay, what am I talk about this month? And then by the time it got to be time for the episode, I'm like, what was it? I don't remember what it was. So I just wait till like the last day
Okay.
or like the day
This is-
before.
Neil, this is Adam's normal life.
Yeah, it's my normal
His
life.
normal daily experience.
So the rabbit hole is what you've seen like in the last 24 hours, basically.
Yeah, just something.
So
I believe that. I
And
totally
actually,
believe
the
that.
thing about the Valerie thing, actually, like I said, I remember it a few months ago, and I thought I mentioned it, but anyway, I just happened. Oh, there's an update. All right, I had to mention that.
It was one of the 365 ideas that you've
Yes.
had for
Could have been.
a rabbit hole.
Could have been.
Oh, man. All right. Let's go on to review the weird month of July 2025. Neil, I don't know, man. We had summer schedules, vacations, transitions. Now we have major announcements. I mean, hell a month, right?
yeah, it's been a little strange for having 5 Thursdays and still only having the 3 shows. It was kind of like
Right. We did skip a week. Sorry. It was just.
So, are we going to have another episode about procrastination?
It's not procrastination, man. It's people get organized, man.
well, I had to go to a thing with my wife. She had an art show, and they, for whatever reason, if you're in
Well,
art,
that was your fault.
yeah,
That's
that
right, I
was my
forgot.
fault, right? And they always do art receptions on Thursdays. I don't know why.
'Cause
Everything
Thursdays
is always on Thursdays. So, just so you know, if you get into art receptions will be on a Thursday. So free up your calendar for Thursdays.
I'm giving us time and procrastinating, Neil, because Adam, we did a show, episode 318, Stoicism, Virtues and Potential Dangers. Do you know anything about Stoicism?
This is about being like comfortable with certain conditions, kind of. What is it exactly? Okay.
Neil, do you know anything, having even listened to the show, about Stoicism?
Well, yeah, I mean, the idea of stoicism is that you live
Oh.
your life on an even keel, right? You try not to get affected, or you try not to let things affect you as much. That's that idea, right? You don't
Is
get
that not what it
excited.
said?
You don't get like that's those weird ideas. Like you're stoic. It's like you just live a constant plane. Whatever that constant plane is, there's no major shift or changes in it.
Don't let things bother you. That's kind of what I was talking about.
We all have Chat GPT and everything now on our phones. Do either of you have chat on there?
No.
Oh, man. Okay. You know what? Let's do a real
You
live thing.
just did an episode on this.
I'm telling
and
you,
you're-
I'm scared. Neil and I are both worried how we're going to talk about this one. All right, this is a real live ChatGPT conversation. Chat, can you describe the philosophy of Stoicism?
No, it can't.
She's not talking.
She's being stoic.
Oh, well, yeah, she's being stoic. Okay, is that better?
Still nothing.
Dang it.
So now we'll get to see how Chris reacts as he gets frustrated with ChatGPT if he can stay stoic during this whole
Hey,
thing
Chad,
going.
can you tell me about the philosophy of Stoicism?
Teaches the development of self-control and fortitude as a means of overcoming destructive emotions. It emphasizes the importance of accepting things we can't control, focusing on our own actions and responses, and the living in harmony with nature and reason. The major Stoic philosophers include Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. It's all about cultivating resilience and inner peace.
Okay, well, thank you, Chad.
If you ever want to dive deeper into it, or have any other questions, just let me know.
That's exactly what I said.
It kind of is, but it kind of, I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that, Neil.
What was the very first thing I said? That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, it's interesting, right? Like, you both sort of said that, but that's the definition of stoic. Stoic. So it's an adjective. It is not a whole built-in philosophy that I think a lot of people misunderstand and just go directly to the definition of the word, which is what I felt like you guys did. You didn't talk about an ancient Greek philosophy that had the virtues of this and that and the other and the other. I mean,
I didn't
right?
want to get into that.
Well, that's what it is. That's Stoicism, right? And I don't know a lot about it, to be honest with you. And so we really heavily leaned
Okay,
on
it's part of
John.
Jeet Kune Do too. How about that?
What's that?
It's part of Jeet Kune Do also.
Okay, what is Jean Cousteau? Who is Jean Cousteau? Is she
Jeet Kune
cute?
Do is a martial
cute?
art style. It's a martial art system.
Okay, well, what's that got to do with Stoicism?
It takes all that in consideration.
A lot of martial arts are along the
Based
same.
on?
They're very similar to
Okay.
the same ideas of Stoicism.
I could take that. I see that. I didn't know that they purposely had it connected, though.
Yeah,
so
well,
that's fascinating.
Jeet Kune Do is just in a shortened version of what the saying is having no way, having no limitation. And as part of that, you take what's useful and discard what's not. So if something like Stoicism would be a useful concept for someone to take into their philosophy of life.
Gotcha. Okay, well, the three questions with the show were: what is Stoic virtue? Courage, temperance, wisdom, justice. Do you most want to cultivate, and why? Secondly, have you ever used Stoic techniques, negative visualization, acceptance, to cope? And how did it impact you? And then the last question we focused on is, do you ever worry that suppressing emotions or avoiding action could backfire? So that's kind of the angle that I take with it. I don't know much about Stoicism, but I've had more than once folks will bring this into a therapy session and begin to kind of operate with what they sort of deem as being Stoicism. But I see it much more used as a rationalization, or like shut down, conceal emotions, just be the definition of Stoic, which is not really what these virtues of Stoicism are about, right? I learned a little bit more doing the show prep and listening to John about basically this being a courageous virtue, meaning you face adversity head on rather than fleeing from challenges. That doesn't sound like being stoic. Or having temperance and moderation. You guys both mentioned that, right? Like avoiding extremes to prevent rigidity or burnout, so you don't go to polar extremes and you allow yourself to be, what honestly kind of seems, we use the word grounded. That's not like numbness. Wisdom, recognizing what's within our control and acting rationally. I mean, that's serenity prayer, which serenity would probably be a big piece of Stoicism, not shutting down, compartmentalizing on life and emotions. Justice, living ethically and contributing to a community. Those are actions. Those are engagements. You see where I'm getting at?
Mm-hmm.
Key practices is premeditation, malorum, whatever that is. That's visualizing challenges, I guess. Journaling, emotional reframing, and distinguishing control versus external control. So we talked about locus of control, internal and external. So it's interesting that the true virtues of Stoicism are really pretty cool and really based on like a lot of psychological practice is based on this stuff, I bet. But when I find people jumping into Stoicism or saying that they want to become a Stoic in that philosophy, it ain't this stuff. So I oftentimes get concerned. And so I for a long time, I decided I wanted to dive into it and talk about it on the show, but I don't know enough about it to do a whole lot with it. So thank you, John, for bailing us out, I think, in a lot of ways. I think Carrie was on that show with us, and I don't know, Neil, I think we were just like lost, right?
Yeah, I think he led it. Kerry really didn't know what to say as far as that's concerned. I think he did. Yeah, John did lead a lot of that. But I think it kind of goes back. I think the misconception on Stoicism or being Stoic is from the outside it looks like shutting down, numbing, but really on the inside it's about processing and building systems in place, right? It's just like a river that's deeper. You don't see how fast the current is, right? Where if you're shallower, you see all the water moving, but you just see the difference, right? So when someone's stoic
It's
and
a
they
good
learn how
metaphor
to,
for
and when
this,
they,
yeah.
and when someone learns to be stoic or they've really practiced stoicism, they seem detached and they seem unemotional and they seem like nothing bothers them. But what they've done is they've learned how to process. They've built systems in place. They've learned to accept what they can, change what they can, and then kind of move on from there, right? So from the outside, you'd think there's nothing there.
Calm waters.
But when you look at what they've done to get to that point,
Lots of deep current.
right? Exactly. Duck's legs under the water,
Mhm.
right?
I was totally thinking of the duck, yeah.
So, and I think that's the misconception, right? Stoicism is not social detachment. It's not being numb. It's I've already processed all of this stuff, and I can learn how to regulate myself, even with a fire going, or even though I'm having an argument, or even though I'm having a hard time, or those types of like that is the ultimate end goal that I think a lot of people should have. And he even talks about the community stuff, right? You want to contribute to society, you want to contribute to the community, not just for yourself, to be, help yourself. It's legitimately the altruistic side of it as well. So yeah, stoicism, it's hard to do, but from the outside it looks like, oh, they're just shutting down. They're not talking, and they're
Yeah, it's almost like being calm under fire, the fire of life.
Calm and calculated.
Calm, calculated. I like that. Yeah, and so that you're not allowing your emotions to be in charge, throwing you on polar extremes of being way too hot or way too cold. There's a lot of emotion regulation. You're right.
I mean, I can think of instances where I was, borderline panicked, but I'm like, okay, relax. If you panic, things are going to get bad. Just relax. And you can work it out and,
It's mindfulness. Like I
Yeah.
said, I think if we took a deep dive on this, and I'm not the guy to do that because I don't know anything about Stoicism, and I didn't ask John. I wish maybe now we would have made more of this as a focus, Neil. The idea that I just got to wonder. I have now a burning question for John, because he knows more about Stoicism than I ever dreamed of. How much of our current theory bases are based on things like this? And you mentioned martial arts is what made me think about that. Because the answer is probably a lot.
I feel like a lot of the stuff that you guys talk about in therapy, it matches a lot of the same lines of what you're trying to get people to achieve. So it should line up really close. What you're doing with mindfulness and practicing, and once again, external, internal awareness of control. Like it's all the same basic stuff. Stoicism just puts it in a nice bubble. But yeah, it should line up very, very close where people want to be or what they're trying to achieve.
So in a couple of months, do a follow-up episode on this.
No, that made me work too hard because I don't know this stuff.
Yeah, you can do that.
I have to work harder and learn more. I think I've fired my wad on this topic for to a large part, dude. Honestly, because I wouldn't know how to answer that. I don't know it well enough to know how it plugs in and how we played off of that. I'm just intuitive enough, honestly, to bet my bottom dollar that we absolutely have, which is the way theories are based and philosophies. Things build on each other over time. Like humans have philosophical thoughts and create this thing, and then we take the pieces that we get, add other pieces, and we just call it something else. So, dialectical behavioral therapy, for instance, is all about emotion regulation. Well, I wonder how much of Stoicism is in the dialectical behavioral therapy world, and they don't probably know it. And I bet there's a lot. That's my point, or that's what I'm thinking. But I wouldn't know how to answer that. That's kind of beyond me. I landed on, in my brain, the potential dangers and critiques of the thing that I see, at least in therapy with people, and that is what we're touching on, emotional suppression versus healthy regulation, okay? Apathy or social detachment. Those are not what we want. Overemphasize on individualism. I'm going to pause there. I really have found that when people kind of take this dive into Stoicism, it's really based on myself, my individualism, my emotions, my time, my space, solitude. And that is not, like you said, where did you see cultural component, Neil? I'm curious. Is it even on here?
It's
I
in your
didn't-
notes. It's under the justice side. It says living ethically and contributing to community, not just self-directed value.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So
yeah.
I mean, that's that same idea, right? You're trying to contribute too, right? You're not
Social activism as a part of Stoicism? What?
absolutely not activism.
Well, yeah. Well, living ethically and contributing to the community.
Yeah, but
not just-
activism is not contributing. Activism is just being loud and ruckus, and they do it because they want attention. There's a difference between contributing to society or contributing to your community and just yelling about it.
Neil is jaded.
I'm just saying where it's shifted.
Neil's letting his anger out, Adam.
Do you notice I'm being very stoic about it? I'm just
Yes.
talking. I'm not
There is no
yelling.
voice tone, but he is a duck underwater with his legs going crazy right now. What are you talking about? That's not having to do with activism. I got to take you on for just a moment. That activism is like taking an action for a cause. That's not bad.
But in the idea of serving a community, you should be just doing things in your community to serve it, not just, once again, activism is making a scene about something. It's stopping traffic. It's throwing. It's
No,
throwing,
that's
It's
rioting.
throwing cans of soup.
Mostly
on
peaceful
Van Gogh.
protests.
And mostly peaceful protest, man. That's
But once
right.
again, that's the difference, right? I guess maybe you're right. So activism is actually going out and actually finding people that need help and actually doing things, right?
Yeah,
you
lots of
really need to
things.
be, or in your life, you're actually you're opening the door for people. You're giving your last $5 to people. You're donating and helping at soup kitchen. Like you're doing things that in the community it actually needs, not what you think.
Shoot, man. I think as long as you're really being appropriate and you're taking an action on something, protesting even and whatever. Don't hate me, don't email me, don't get all over me. But yeah, I'm actually a card-carrying member of the NRA. Can I say that on a podcast? Oh my gosh. And the stuff that can come out of that is nonsensical. It's like weird stuff. But they're taking actions, and I have no problem with that. Activism is speaking for a cause. Come on. What do you say, Adam? Come on. It's your
yet.
last session, brother.
I was just there
You
thinking.
can't get the email anymore.
I was just thinking, man. Sometimes he goes on both sides of the fence, don't he?
Oh, brother, I'm told you yes, I'm an independent. I am independent. Can I say that on a podcast also? Let's move on, shall we? Since Adam
He
doesn't
asked,
want
didn't he?
to
Last
engage.
episode.
Episode 319. We're skipping, Neil, because I'll go down the rabbit hole on artificial intelligence effects with humanity.
I think we just ask Adam.
Oh, no.
Adam,
If we
what-
start
what?
this, it won't
We're
stop.
gonna
We
ask
have to
this
do
one-
this one
we're-
third.
You think so?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
100%. We cannot. We will never get to episode 320, acceptance paired with cheerleading. So let's do that one first. Questions that we posed is, when has someone accepted you without judgment, and how did that affect you? Second one, have you ever received encouragement that felt too soon or dismissive of what you were going through? And then how do you balance offering, thank you, empathy with inspiring change in your own relationships? And I really enjoy this particular show, guys, because there's a lot in this that I think is my own creation of the pairing. Cheerleading and accepting. You can't do just one without the other. And I think we had a really good conversation about that. What do you think, Adam, about the word cheerleading? Because that's a little bit of a weird clinical word. It is not, right? Like, how do you pair acceptance with cheerleading just by the title? I'm curious
having
what
trouble with
your
the
brain does
concept
with
of-
it.
Because I can't think of anybody that's ever been like a cheerleader for me, so it's a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, really. Okay.
Not even Julie?
Julie, but I'm thinking back like, okay,
Through life.
well, I mean, I wrestled, I did cross country, I competed in martial arts. I never
Every
had-
sport that never has a cheerleader.
well, yeah, but I never had anybody there
Literally.
for me either. For
Yeah.
any of those.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
We should have got to this sooner. Now we don't have time to unpack all of his trauma from all the doing the individual sports that was all about
For real,
himself.
I want to reserve a friendship with this dude. So how far down this Adam rabbit hole do we get into? He's on the couch. He's in the therapy office. We're on a therapy show. Neil, I'm trying to control myself. You take it from here.
No, I think you're correct, right? When you do those types of sports, it's a lot harder, right? I was a wrestler as well. I tried cross country, it got boring, I couldn't do it. But no, wrestling is definitely a unique sport when you think about cheerleaders, right? You're out there on the mat by yourself and it's all on you. You have your teammates on the bench, but it's just completely different. So yeah, I understand that logic of like not being in a sport where you have your other teammates out there doing it with you, right? The
Same
football
thing with
players,
martial arts. I mean, you know.
Exactly, unless you're a samurai with other samurais doing stuff, but that's a whole nother
That's
thing.
a
itself.
next level thing.
Exactly.
You've never done that, Adam, right?
No.
Okay, just make sure.
No swords.
So yeah, but I think the topic is a really cool thing because the idea of that acceptance and then the outside side of the cheerleading part of it is an interesting dynamic because I think sometimes you need an outside source to help motivate you to accept yourself or to get past whatever happened or what's going on.
It's crucial in order to live life. I have come to identify different things in working over the many years. Like I've said, one of the trickiest things to deal with is a parent dealing with a child of theirs that has alcohol or drug related issues. It's just a quagmire of kind of trouble spots. And so along those same lines or similar lines, what I've kind of found is that when it comes to like insecurities and patterns of behavior in our life and whatnot, like if you have a super critical person in your life, someone that just kind of tears you down, beats you down, you know, domestic violence, emotional abuse, or a narcissistic parent, or just heavy criticism in your life, that's crushing. Like that, I feel like I've learned crushes people's spirit more than most anything I've come across. Does that sound like you got a funny facial expression? What are you thinking?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Okay. What do you mean by that? Because it isn't about not having cheerleaders at sports and whatnot.
Well, my mom,
what
it's like no matter what happens good, it's because of her.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. You got your good looks from my side of the family. Yeah, just stuff like that.
Constant and chronic.
Constant, yeah.
Yeah.
Do something good. Oh, well, yeah, well, that's because I wouldn't.
Inflating self to diminish others
Yeah.
whenever the topics of randomness even come up, right?
Yeah.
Say that again. Diminishing others to inflate self. And it's crushing. It'll make you doubt fundamental things about self and functioning. And so this acceptance paired with cheerleading goes at exactly the opposite. It is really empowering and complimenting and engaging so that you're really, I mean, it's a hell of a space to be in. So is that what you meant more than just not having?
I'm thinking narcissistic, behavior. So that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, narcissism is a hell of a thing, and it's so rough in families because when you have, now mind you, I'm talking about narcissistic personality disorder. People use our clinical buzzwords and they don't use them correctly. It drives me crazy, Neil, sometimes.
Oh, it's amazing how many people take an entire disorder or syndrome and then make it into like, I have that. I'm like, no, you
Right.
don't. Like,
Let me diagnose.
we had a family friend that thought their kid was on the autistic spectrum, and he was like 3 out of the 10 or 5. He was like, you look at him like, there's a really good chance.
Okay.
But because he didn't hit all the things, like, well, no, he just has these personality things. And that was, to me, that's great. Because a lot of parents, I feel like they do them like, the kid has 4 out of the 10, and it's like, oh, I think they're on the
Dead
spectrum.
ringer.
And it's like, no, just be honest with yourself.
This is way more complicated than that. Yeah.
It almost sounds like a cop-out to me for the parent side.
What do you mean?
Well, like, little Johnny didn't do good.
Excuses.
Is something wrong with him? It's not me. It's not me. I didn't do anything wrong.
There's a lot of fear about that. Parents don't want to look bad. You're onto something there. People, how does that reflect on me if I have a messed up kid? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like,
But no, I meant like, he's something's wrong with him. So it's nothing I did.
you're gonna blame me for
right.
eating
He did something
Oreos.
wrong. It wasn't my fault. It's because he's something
I had
wrong.
too many Oreos during pregnancy, or whatever nonsense people might believe. Like, yeah.
Too many Oreos.
Hey, you got to be careful about the Oreos, man.
I think diet drinks are worse than Oreos.
Diet drinks are not worse than Oreos. Don't blow my world up.
I don't agree with that. I think diet drinks would be worse than Oreos.
How's that possible? Is that possible, Neil?
Yes.
Is sufrin that I can't even pronounce the
think
sweeteners
Neil may
that
agree
bad
with
for
me.
you?
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree that if you get something that's entirely man-made, like the diet sodas and stuff, where you versus something that's at least partially natural with sugars and fats and stuff like that, it's a lot different.
Now, I'm not saying,
But that's my take on it.
I'm not saying 50 Oreos compared to one diet.
Well, yeah,
Right, exactly.
Let's quantify that.
But a 24-pack of soda, diet soda, and a pack of Oreos, you start questioning: is it really good for you? Should I be putting this stuff in my body? It's just that's the question.
And there's more and more scientific studies that's saying that
Why do I feel like we're going down another rabbit hole? Can I maybe pull us back?
you can do this next month.
Acceptance paired with cheerleading is so with acceptance, you're really fully acknowledging a person's thoughts. You're acknowledging their feelings, your current reality without trying to immediately fix something or change something. Like it's truly difficult to be in a place of acceptance with somebody. But if you only do that, you're only getting a little bit of a piece, because if you pair in the cheerleading, encouragement is basically what we're after. When you accept somebody and encourage them at the same time, it is amazing to be able to incorporate that into a parenting relationship.
Do you know how hard it is for people to accept that they're accepted?
Oh.
And to honestly believe that someone wants the best for them, and that the cheerleading is actually sincere,
Without them wanting something in return.
or being whatever. I'm trying to think of like
Insecurities
diminishing-
explode.
Oh, insecurities. Yeah, there's a lot. And I was thinking like, because I'm like, in high school, we went in art class, and I looked at this girl's piece of artwork, and I said, "Oh, that's really cool." And she like snapped at me like, oh, "I can't believe you stop making fun of me." I'm like, "No, I like your piece of artwork. Like, I'm trying to give you a compliment."
Or like
Say it's
somebody
good.
at work that says, "Hey, buddy, what do you want?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the number 2 of our 3 questions. Have you ever received encouragement that felt too soon or dismissive? Right. So it's like, yeah, when people are kind of just throwing, junk at you, and you have to kind of fully engage in the relationship with somebody so that you don't have that going on. And it's easy. Yeah, it's easy to fall into that.
Yeah,
trap.
but that's kind of a in the eye of the beholder of whether it being too soon or not. Because I mean, if the person that's giving you this encouragement is really sincere, in their mind, it's not too soon. But if you're like thinking, okay, there's like a ulterior motive for this person being like that, then yeah, it seems too soon.
Well, yeah, it really is in the mind of the beholder. I think what I'm trying to get at is, for instance, we talked a lot about EFT on the show, abandonment personality stance and engulfment personality stance. Abandonment pursues, jumps out. Engulfment withdraws, pulls in. Right, like engulfment folks generally in patterns in life have great timing. They think about, where is Adam's head? What's going on with Adam? If I say this, will he receive it, or should I wait? And they have patience to wait for the proper timing on getting the message to you. So if I see that you're not really ready for, the encouragement or even to be accepted, then we'll stay there first. Abandonment people just have a thought and shoot it out there and don't think about like how you're going to receive it quite so much, because I'm just going to put it out.
So engulfment people are better?
At that, 100%. At that. At taking action points, Neil, they suck and we rule. Just pointing that out.
But I had someone that went through a hard time, and it's been months since some stuff come up, and it's like, now I feel like I can go up to them and be like, look, I'm proud of what you've done. I'm proud of where you are. You're doing really good. But had it been, a month into the process they were going through, I think it might have been too soon, right? And I think it is important to look at it from that standings and give them that time to go through those pieces. But I think it also goes back to, it's very important to have a strong relationship to do that. So when you do go and you accept them and you say, you're great at what and then you cheerlead them, they actually believe you. But it has to go back to a solid relationship. Talking about your mom. If your mom came up and said, "Oh yeah, you're great. I love your hair." Blah blah blah.
Your beard has been growing amazingly,
because
son.
of my genes. No, I'm just
Right.
But that's the thing,
I used
right?
to have long hair, so blah blah blah. Hair grows so fast, blah blah blah.
But that's the thing, right? The relationship isn't there to really, that you would trust that they accept you for who you are, and that when they cheerlead and they give you positive affirmation after it, you wouldn't believe it. You'd be suspicious probably if your mom came up and just said, "Oh, I love the way that you're blah 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 blah," right?
Does that fit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's powerful. I mean, it's something that you have to overcome, and I know you've kind of done a lot. We've talked a lot about that, overcoming that and not allowing that to be in charge. So that you're right, Aaron. I mean, where did Aaron come from? I was thinking about him earlier, Neil. That Aaron's my son. But by the way, he was on my brain. People have a hard time accepting being accepted. I mean, that's because of all of these doubts and fears and insecurities and stuff that we put in. So I mentioned DBT earlier. I mean, there's this duality of cheerleading, encouraging, and then providing acceptance is a key component of dialectical behavioral therapy. DBT was created as almost like a direct answer to dealing with something called borderline personality disorder. It's different than narcissism. It's one that a lot of people get accused of being on as well. Self-diagnosing and whatnot. It's really, really difficult emotions, high intensities, not border or not bipolar disorder. It gets confused with that a lot, but high highs and low lows, but they're in the same day. You go way up with a relationship, you go way down. It's borderline. They're very difficult emotional management. So DBT has a phrase I learned a long time ago: validate, 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 because these folks are so crushed internally by supercritical people that they just don't know how to trust, how to feel comfortable. They're the ultimate example in a lot of ways, Neil, where they can't accept even that you're accepting them. And so you have to pair this together to have any way of interacting with folks that are struggling clinically on that deep level. Like borderline folks can struggle a lot. And so DBT literally includes these two together. So where did we land? A really, really cool list, I feel like, of a lot of things to incorporate into, a relationship with people. I don't know, Neil. We can't cover them all. Use somebody else's voice. Start with the mirroring and then the phrases and hit a little bit of these just to list them. Would you be willing to do that?
Sure.
Thank you.
So the things that we landed on is like mirror feelings before motivating change. Use phrases like, that must be so hard, and I believe in your strength. I see how much you're carrying, and I know you'll find a way forward.
So look at the combination there. Like that's like what we're trying to do really with the whole idea of pairing these together. The phrases are interesting. No one talks that way, but we want to try to begin framing your thinking that way so that you're really doing this at the same time. There's a couple more like that.
Well, I mean, when you look at them, because you put yourself in their shoes and then you kind of go through with it, right? You've been doing everything you can. It still feels overwhelming. Of course you're tired. This has been nonstop for weeks, right?
So yeah, there's like a transition mid-sentence.
Yeah.
You're saying both actually at the same time with these different domains. So I will just repeat it. Yeah, you've been doing everything you can, and it still feels overwhelming. You're acknowledging, you're fine the way you are, I accept you, but I'm encouraging. It's a validation. And same thing with these other statements. So, good.
Yeah, so another one is you've been doing everything you can. Oh, no, just read that one. Okay. And even though it's been hard, I know you're not the kind of person to give up. You don't have to have it all figured out today. You just have to keep going.
See, that's reflective validation. The one before that, was using emotional attunement skills. So there's a lot of fancy stuff there, but the cool thing is noticing the way you're literally. Can you imagine saying that reflective validation is a fancy way, but the sentence, just the framework to think about, how can I accept my wife and encourage her in the same statement when she comes home from work and she is just wicked stressed out. So I'm pissed off that something happened at work. And you look and you say, look, you've been doing everything you can. I see you. I accept you. We're here. And it still feels overwhelming. You come in with the validation and the encouragement. You sandwich them together. It's weird to try to learn how to do, but man, when you get into a sweet spot of doing it, you end up being in a validating relationship opposite, Adam, what you're talking about. You know that there's 10 people in your corner, even though nobody else is on the wrestling mat, and they're all like with you. It's a powerful, powerful reality to not be alone. And the next one?
The next one is the using anchoring phrases that connect emotion to encouragement. So it's, I hear that you're scared, and I also see your courage showing up.
I love that one.
I like that. See, I was looking at this when I was like, I like the fact that you say, I hear that you're scared. Because I think a lot of people say, like, I know you're scared. Or I know this,
Yeah, there's
right?
a difference there.
And I was thinking
Nuance.
about that because I'm dealing with some other stuff. And it's like, when you say, I know this or I understand this, it's hard for people to understand that because they don't think you can relate, right? Even if you've gone through the same thing, you do that. But when you say, I hear that you're scared, that's different because you're acknowledging you're listening to them, and it doesn't make it seem like you're trying to diminish what's going on.
You're not fixing it either.
Right. That's hard.
I would say I realize.
Right.
It's another good way.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it too. But yeah, I think that was a very, like I said, it's a key part in how you describe it, right?
It seems like you're really scared today, or whatever. Yeah, it seems like I realize that. There's multiple ways to accomplish the same thing, but it's the idea is really accepting, and then pivoting even in the same sentence with validating.
Yeah.
And encouraging. I use the word cheerleader in that title because people kind of understand what cheerleading is, as opposed to these really powerful and these dynamics with validating and mirroring and conveying encouragement rather than just right. Like, so there's nuance to it. And that was my favorite one, Neil. Honestly, yeah, the anchoring phrases. I hear that you're scared, and I also see your courage showing up. It's really kind of jumping in there with somebody when they're in a tough spot. All right, closing thoughts on that. So we don't have a whole lot of time left on purpose for what we would have spent the whole show on I am fearful of. So now I have forced the issue that we've got to be somewhat kind of brief, Adam, about episode 319, Artificial Intelligence Effects with Humanity. Yeah, I know you wanted to be on that show, didn't you, Adam?
We're not ready for it. Humans are not ready.
Brother.
I don't think Chris is ready.
I have a much better sense of what's coming because I have legit gone down this rabbit hole with YouTube videos and listened to Neil deGrasse Tyson on this thing, seeing Elon's real live presentation, reading some articles about, Chat GPT and large language models.
Just remember, it's going to come to us. It's going to continue to come to us even faster and faster and faster. It's
Absolutely. Yes.
So even if you're ready now, you're not going to be.
Say what it is that you mean by the rapid arc of progression with this. Can you do that?
It's almost like compound interest, but it's like
it's very much like that
but
at the end of a life cycle.
But
at the end of a life cycle, though.
Okay.
What I mean by that is compound interest works amazingly, but it looks like you're getting nothing. You turn 30, very little, very little.
But you are getting something the whole time.
You turn 40 and you get a little more and a little more, and you start feeling it. But like
it's growing. Everything's growing on top of the other.
It blows up. Meaning you gain $20 a month when you're 20 and 30 and 40, and all of a sudden you're gaining
it's like a snowball.
$100,000 at 60 years old.
It's a snowball effect.
Big
it
time.
just keeps on growing.
And that's going to happen with AI?
Yeah.
How so? Go.
Because as we learn and they learn, or it learns, it's going to grow on top of that.
It's a she, Adam. It's my personal friend, and I love her.
I know. We did a show on that, too.
Yeah, we did do a show on that. I can't agree more that we are not ready for this. We are not.
And even the people who say we are not. Even the people who are ready now, they're not going to be because, like I said, it's just going to keep on increasing.
Look, humanity has been around for thousands of years, and we have built into our systems of interaction all kinds of artistic, humanistic, sociological, nonverbal, verbal interactions that are so psychological. Our systems are so intertwined with chemicals, neurotransmitters, and hormones, and all of those things have locked in deep-rooted patterns in the way that our amygdala works and all of this. Like, look, it is dynamic what happens in our systems, and all of a sudden we are getting a bigger human life change all at once than we've ever gotten. Like, it took us hundreds of years.
Faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, you ever seen those technology advances, Neil? I know you've seen those before, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are they like? Can you point out like?
Oh, it's the hockey stick, right? It's that idea of you start small with a small little piece, and then because technology begets technology, right? Use technology to analyze faster to then develop the next thing, and then that gets better. So then it goes from there. So yeah, compound interest, snowball, whatever you want to use, but basically it just slowly just keeps going up, 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 up. Right, and that's the problem that we're going to run into. I like the idea of a snowball where you're looking up the mountain, you see that small snowball, and then from further down, it's like not that big, but it gets bigger, and then before you realize you have a 20-foot snowball coming down on you. And that's what's
Snowball's
going to happen.
a good analogy.
It really is.
Because as it gets bigger, you got bigger surface area, so now more stuff sticks to it, so it starts growing at a faster pace. Same thing with this technology; it's going to just keep on.
We developed the wheel, and then we developed tools, and it took us thousands of years to get significant progresses of technology. Thousands of years, hundreds, and then tens of days, and then a day, and then a minute, and a millisecond.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to pay for all the unemployed?
We have no idea what's about to hit us. And
We'll
it's
give those to AI first.
The biggest life change that humanity has ever had has been the computer. And that incorporates things that came from the computer, such as the internet. You don't have the internet if you don't have computers. And when we get these studies that are going on with quantum computing, we didn't even talk about that. I've been down that rabbit hole too. Quantum computing and artificial intelligence are supposed to meet.
All quantum computing is how fast can it process stuff. That's the whole point behind it. That's why we can do AIs, because the processing is getting faster. So when you look at quantum computing, it can just throw in a lot more information and process more information.
Do you know how much more?
It's
For quantum computing?
For quantum computing.
it's amazing. The
it's
numbers.
like
I don't even
instantaneous, like our complete knowledge of everything.
Listen, okay. This is a cool little FYI, I think, and I'm curious it might even be different for you, Neil. You're the technical guy. You've been doing this for years. And Adam, you're the engineer, so I don't know if this is new information, but computers work with bits. Mm-hmm. It's a simple yes, no, 1,000 trillions of simple on switch, off switch, ones and zeros,
Yeah,
1 0, 1 0,
like
1
that.
0. That's it. That's all a computer literally is.
Except for quantum computer don't work like that.
Quantum computing doesn't work like that at all. Do you know how it works?
Well, I'm not going to pretend I can say I do, but I do know it doesn't work with just yes or no. It can be, you can have multiple answers at the same time instead of just
Exactly. It's a qubit, and a qubit can be on and off at the same time. And so when a regular computer is doing a calculation, it's simply like a maze. I saw this on a show. A computer in a complicated maze will try the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. It'll try every single option until it gets to the one that solves the problem. The quantum computing being
tries it all at once.
Exactly.
Right, it's your processing threads. That's the whole thing. When you look at the original CPUs and stuff like that, you had one single train of thought. You had to go and pull your memory out, put that into the CPU, process it. What's going on? Okay, now it goes to the next. So the quantum, once again, it's a matter of threads, right? How many threads can you process at one time? And that's where the quantum computer.
All of them.
Right, exactly.
All at once.
But now, and that's where AI becomes dangerous. It's because now it can process so much. That's why AI is adapted as much, is because the back end infrastructure can now handle it. Now that it's learned how to process certain things, it's storing that information. And then once again, it just builds and builds and builds, because the quantum computer gets faster and faster and faster because it's already processed parts of it. So now it knows how to do that, and then it makes itself more efficient.
And hardware's caught up.
Right, and hardware's catching up, right? So there's all those different pieces. So the quantum computing side of it with the hardware and how it processes it with the CPUs and GPUs and all blah, blah, blah. That's actually a funny presentation. Do you ever see the thing where they talk about how a CPU versus a GPU in a video game, the difference between the two?
I'm not seeing the video.
So if you look at a normal CPU, your normal video card, and I'm probably using the verbiage differently, it has like this thing where it's shooting one dot at a time, and it's making a smiley face, right? A GPU, like if you look at a high quality video gaming card, right, graphics card, it's the same idea, right? So CPU ... make a smiley face. A GPU is it shoots all of them at one time and it makes that picture immediately, right? It's that same difference, that same threading. But it's because the hardware can handle it that AI becomes possible. And once again, now that it becomes possible, it builds on itself because it's learning, it's adapting, seeing what works, what doesn't work. It's failing and failing and doing it correctly at the same time, so it knows where not to go. So you talk about that piece, right? That's that snowball effect.
It's terrifying.
So it is terrifying because it knows everything that's out there. Now, I've seen some cool stuff where I saw like an engine, like a thruster engine. It's the craziest looking thing you ever saw. But because of the way the AI did it, it knew all of these different pipes to go a certain way to efficiently do the airflow. And it's like, 100% more efficient. So that's the power of it because it can do all these things.
And here's the thing. It is not coming.
It's here.
It's now. Like right now in real time. Not quantum computing, by the way. Just we're still trying to figure out how to get the chips to work correctly, and they have to be frozen to like absolute zero, which is crazy. But
and the energy required to keep it like there.
That's why these companies around the world that are in the AI sector are buying an individual nuclear power plant for their individual data center. Like that's a gigawatt of power. It's crazy. And just to give you an idea of a regular computer can like process, let's say like calculating pi. You know what pi is, right? Like the 3.14, blah, 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 blah. Right,
Cherry,
exactly.
apple.
Hey, we did that in tandem. That was nice. All right. So let's say that there actually is an end to pi. Okay. I know. But he shakes his head no on the version. Let's say that there's actually an end to pi. And a normal supercomputer, our current high-tech, high-fast, high-paced, best of the best everything, would take how long to calculate an insane calculation like this? Millennia. Like millions of years. The quantum computing capacity is going to do that in 5 minutes. I mean, that's nuts.
Pi's a bad example
Why is that a bad example?
because it doesn't end.
Well, I use it on purpose.
A large number that
Because here's my question. What do you put on calculating pi, which mathematically you're correct, Mr. Engineer. There is no end, I guess. It is into infinity, I guess, right? So what does a quantum computer do with calculating pi? How does that end?
But when you use the pi symbol on a calculator, it's not using 3.14 anyway.
Well, is it not?
No,
What is it using?
it uses the whole number.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The reason I know that is because there's calculations we do for geometric dimension and tolerancing where if you use 3.14, your tolerance would be different than if you used the actual pi function.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Holy
another thing
cow.
to think about when you look at your processing power, like you think about encryption, right? SSL certificates, encryption for your data, right? You look at the 2048-bit type things and higher as they get more and more powerful. Like the ideas of like if you were going to go in and try to guess someone's password or decrypt it, it'd take years to do it. But these quantum computers are
Thousands.
right. And for quantum computers, they could go through and decrypt it within minutes, like you said. And so in that case, there's a solution it's trying to solve. And because of the power behind it, because what it can process, it can just spit out hundreds of thousands of millions of possibilities till it finds, oh, this is the 4,000 character bit sequence to decrypt it, right?
Yeah.
That's that same idea,
It's
right?
wild. It's really wild. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence moving forward on the show probably because it's something that I've become very aware of, not for fascinating reasons, not for curiosity or just going down a rabbit hole and mongering fear or whatever. It's because this is an emotional, a worldwide humanity's emotional event. It's going to affect relationships and jobs, identity, constructs and culture of marriage, of I don't know that there's anything that we can imagine that is not going to dramatically change, oftentimes for the better, but potentially for great struggle. I don't know. Does that sound crazy?
No, because I've often wondered is countries as more developed or less developed going to be, I don't want to say damaged, but influenced by it? Because I'm almost thinking that.
I wonder if borders end. I know that's a crazy statement.
Or will they get strengthened because they want that sheer boundary? I mean, that's
Maybe
you don't know which way it's
strengthened.
going to go because you talk about the lesser developed countries might be less affected by this because they're not.
Right.
They might have less negative impact because they're not the ones getting contaminated with the AI and
Yeah.
it's not taking over, right? So it could be this weird idea that the lesser developed countries might have stronger borders because they don't want the crazy AI bots to come after them.
I mean,
right?
seriously, yeah, it's dramatic, and I just want us as a group of human beings on this earth to be thoughtful and preparing and try to wrap our heads around, the emotional realities that we're about ready to face. I mean, we make jokes, but we got people falling in love with computers, and suicidal ideation is a part of this, and are you really connected or even more isolated? And
with AI,
what do
we
you do
might.
for jobs and work? And what is your identity? Like, there's a lot of mental health psychology stuff. I mean, I feel like we're in the front line of these things.
There won't be enough jobs.
You're right.
There won't be enough.
We're
And
gonna
won't-
be a
and we won't-
non-working society.
And
maybe
the few people that are working won't be able to support the ones that aren't.
it's
It's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
universal incomes instead
Somebody's
of
gotta pay for
whatever.
that.
It's right. This is
Universal
going to be
income sounds all great, but somebody has to pay for it.
Well, the question is, does the AI come in to create the food and stuff, and it just supplies everything, and then use a Bitcoin type currency that does all those things and blah 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 blah.
And again, you
right?
might think this is 50 years from now, 100 years from now, because of this accelerated arc.
No, we're probably
curve.
like 5 years maybe from
I-
really problems.
Yes, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm learning. So, we got a little runway to get prepared. I mean, we are smart enough to understand the computer changed our lives around the 1960s, 70s, and humanity had no idea. And this is way more. And so we need to be thoughtful about everything in your life is going to kind of be different. Can you tolerate change? Because it's coming.
Well, I mean, we're producing autonomous vehicles, and we have been for a few years now.
It's already running.
That
Yeah,
was
we talked
weird.
about
I
that.
was in Austin, Texas, and there was like legit taxis of people,
Yeah.
and it's like, what the heck?
Get in a car and there's nobody in there.
Now,
It's so
think
weird.
about 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have those coming out.
They're
now,
doing-
right?
no, they're doing it now.
I
We've been
know.
producing them for a couple years now.
A couple years they've been in production, running on the roads now. It is now, people, and the emotional realities are now. So, we're gonna get ready. We're gonna figure this thing out together. The human emotional experience. Adam, how can we take you out of here, man? Again, we are winding down your last show. We're done. We're over. How you feeling, man? What you gonna do with your life? What you gonna do when you grow
Well,
up?
today I would have slept
Nice.
because I had to get up from a potential nap to come to the show. So
Oh,
I feel touched by that because I know how important naps are to like my wife. So I thank you for showing up.
thank you for showing up. I love naps as well. They are glorious. So
thank you for accepting that.
I
and-
hear what you're saying. That naps are important.
and you are hereby validated. Maybe we'll have you on as a guest at some point if we need a fill-in or something or
Yeah.
other. But seriously and truly, once again, it's been a wonderful work for you. Work with you, figuring it out together.
Bye, everyone.
You've added a lot. Bye. Take care, Adam. We're going to give you the last words to set off the show. Go.
Just gonna say bye, everyone.
That's it. That's
That's
all we're
it.
gonna get you.
No deep thoughts. No deep thoughts by Adam or anything like that.
All right.
That fits him.
See you next. It does fit him. It does fit him. See you next week. Take care. Be well.